Oh, testing, testing.
Awesome.
We are live. Welcome. Drifting the Plains, #1 in the series. Over there.
All right, we've got our last 2, 3, 4 car on track right now. We're getting ready to do our competition. All right, we'd like to welcome everybody to Drifting the Plains #1, presented by KBD Body Kits. We are going to get into our first round of competition. We have a full 32 car field today for our top 32. So for anybody that may be new to competition drifting, maybe you haven't been here before, maybe you've seen a little bit on TV, we'll describe a little bit of what's going to go on here. We're going to get 2 cars on the track, and they're going to make 2 laps of our course in front of you. One car, we'll call them car #1, is going to lead first. Car #2 is going to chase them. Car #1, that lead car, has to run the track as we've designated, getting into the zones that we want them to, getting near the cones with the front or rear of the car where we pulled them to, and running the course as cleanly as possible. That car #2, that chase car, they have to follow and do exactly what the lead car is doing. Wherever the lead car goes on the track, chase car is supposed to follow. After they make 1 lap, they will switch positions. That lead car will become the chase car will become the lead car, and they will run it again. We have a panel of 3 judges who, after that battle is done, they've done their 2 laps. Each car has had a chance to lead, each car has had a chance to chase. The 3 judges will vote on who did it best overall. They will take into consideration deductions for being offline, straightening, spinning, not having good proximity to the car in front of them. They do want to try to stay as close to that lead car as possible without really hitting them and moving them out of position. You can't really alter what's going on with that lead car by hitting them. But they will take all of that into consideration and declare a winner that will move on to the next round. If they absolutely can't come to a decision and they think it was a complete tie, they will declare a 1 more time, and those cars will come back in a couple rounds and run it back. First up on the course, we've got Darian Weber out of Rice, Minnesota, in that black BMW E46. Going to be lining up against Kaylee Nelson in the silver 350Z out of Fargo. Darian will have the lead first in the BMW. Kaylee will have the chase. They will get the word from our starter, they will take off, they will stay in their lanes around that curve, and then they will initiate into our course. Now, due to it being a rain competition, action's going to be a little bit slower, no tire smoke, not a lot of squealing. more engine and exhaust noise. They do have to be very careful not to spin. Grip is a little hard to come by out there. I've gotten mixed reviews from the drivers. I've actually heard that it's not bad for a wet track. There is a fair amount of grip out there if you know how to set up the car.
So Zach, get a can of the juice jacket for the dog.
All right, track staff is ready, judges are ready, cars are ready, and off we go with our first battle of our top 32. Darian Weber going to bring us up to our initiation cones. KBD Nelson with the chase. Darian's going to come around our sweeper. He's got this front foot right into that cone. And he is going to enter a rear zone right there where he has to keep the back of the car right against that grass line. Switch over into our keyhole, into our second rear zone. Out of the keyhole, he's going to put the back of the car and then he's going to finish the course going back to that first rear zone, just about spinning. Didn't quite go all the way around, but did straighten out before that finish line. We got 3 cones over there on each side of the track denoting that finish line. They will go back around to the starting line, switch it up. KBD Nelson will get a chance to lead. Darian Weber will chase in the second half of this battle. Up for grabs today with our top 4. First place will receive $200 care of TRJ Photography and our first place plaque. Second place, $100 care of Evolution Fitness and our second place plaque. Third place will get $50 from Evolution Fitness and the third place plaque, and fourth place has a plaque waiting for them. All of our drivers will accrue points for our season points for our DTP Championship. KBD Nelson going to bring us up to the initiation cones. And into our first corner, into our sweeper. Darian keeping good. A little bit of a straighten there by Kaylee, and yep, she's going to abort that run out. Typically, a straighten is going to zero that run. They need to stay in drift the entire time. She knew she straightened and pulled right over. We will get our judge's decision here.
Let's go, yeah!
And moving on to the next round will be Darian Weber. That will bring up our next battle, that black and yellow 350Z of Wesley Nagel out of Fargo, North Dakota. Going to line up against the yellow 350Z of Justin Ruth out of West Fargo. Justin is actually our points champion from last year. He is going to be doing a lot of shootouts and pro-am competitions around the nation. He is wanted to stop by here and do one DTP before he kind of started his traveling for the summer. Wesley Nagel going to bring us up to initiation. And Justin Ruth going into that first sweeper. Wesley just has to keep a nice clean run, and he will have an advantage going into the second half of this battle. Wesley looking good through that followed by Ruth in the chase. And through the finish line, they'll bring him back around to the starting line. Justin Ruth will get his chance to lead, but he is absolutely at a deficit going into this second half of the battle. The high horsepower cars are great for dry pavement. Not so good in the wet, takes a lot more control. Very easy to loop a car with high horsepower. Cars are good to go. Justin Ruth going to bring us up to the initiation cones. And he is going to have to put on a show. He will try to put as much space between him and Wesley Nagel. Make his lead run look as good as it can. And he has to kind of hope Wesley spins by. Wesley Nagel doing a great job of keeping that a nice clean run as he comes up to the finish line. All right, both cars, good run on that second half of the battle. We'll get around to the starting line, so we'll get our judge's decision.
Pretty good, how are you? Not too bad.
And moving on to the next round is Wesley Nagel.
Oh, not too bad. It's usually the ugly guys that late. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Up next on the course, we've got Kyle Puckett in that white G35 out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. He is going to have the first lead up against Nasty Nathan Karlstrom. Nasty Nate out of Grand Forks, North Dakota in that 1995 240SX. Nate Karlstrom is the nicest guy in the world, and I don't think he likes it when we call him Nasty Nate, so we just keep calling him Nasty Nate. Kyle Puckett is a former 5K shootout winner. He has been on our DTV podium multiple times. He is Mr. Consistent when it comes to this stuff. Into our first outer zone. Karlstrom with great proximity. Both cars doing exactly what they need to stay in drift. Great run by both cars. Kyle Puckett and Nathan Karlstrom. They'll bring it back around. Karlstrom will get his chance to lead. Puckett will chase. Karlstrom doing a really good job of keeping proximity. Puckett with a great run. It looked like he hit all the zones from here, hit all his clips. Cars are off, and Nathan Karlstrom will bring us up to the initiation cones. Both cars nice and clean through the speed. We're into outer zone number one. Oh, looks like a little dirt drop maybe by Puckett there. Splash of water off that front tire. And Karlstrom able to open up a little bit of a gap there. A great run by both drivers. Really good run by Nathan Karlstrom and Kyle Puckett. We'll see what our judges have to say. They have the best view up there, seeing all the zones. Really good run by Kyle Puckett, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Karlstrom got that one. All right, the result is in, and we are going to have to go one more time with this. It was too close to call. It was a split decision by the judges. One judge had Karlstrom, one judge had Puckett, and one had a one more time. So we have to do one more time on that. Our next battle, we've got Ole Rumshen out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. In the white and blue S13, going to line up against Brian Onofre out of Owatonna in that 2014 Mustang. Ole Rumshen going to lead us up to the initiation cones, going to build a little bit of a gap. He's going to try to drive away from Brian. Oh, Brian getting a big offline there, a little bit of a straight. Brian really trying to catch up. That's going to throw him off course. He's going to straighten out again. Ole's just got to keep this run clean. Ole's car, much more of a race car, much better setup. Brian is doing everything he can to try to keep pace with that. We'll bring it back around to the starting line. Brian Onofre will get his chance to lead. Ole Rumshen will chase. Also tomorrow we have our very first limited series battles. Our bracket that we'll be having is a very new class for this year. The cars are much more limited on what modifications they can have. The drivers are a bit limited. Anybody that's been on a DTP or a 5K or 10K podium is not allowed to drive in it. It's kind of a class for beginner and intermediate drivers. So we're going to see how that turns out. We'll have a few more details on that later. Brian Onofre with his initiation. Ole Rumshen doing a really good job of keeping some proximity, and Brian going to go off course there, having trouble with that corner. That will zero out that lead run. Ole will go ahead and finish up the lap, even though he does not have to. And to that very last outer zone, Ole Rumshen will bring it to the finish line. We're going to back up to the starting line. We'll get our judge's decision. I think this one should be pretty cut and dry. And moving on to the next round is Ole Rumshen. Although our starter is out of position, neither of the cars know who's winning.
Situational.
Next up on the starting line, we've got James Cragen out of Ironton, Minnesota. in the orange S14. Going to line up against Ty Musburger out of Chisago City, Minnesota, in the blue Toyota Supra. Cragen will have the first lead. Cragen coming up to that initiation cone. Good hard initiation. Musburger has a little bit of an issue there. Off a little straight. Outside zone. Cragen definitely with the advantage now. He just doesn't know it. And both cars clean throughout his own 14. And James Cragen going to come to the finish line. Good clean lead run. Musburger finishing up right behind him. Little bobble off that initiation into the first sweeper. He'll get his chance to lead here. Cragen will chase.
Come on, you're okay.
Both cars are off. Ty Musburger with the lead. Going to bring us up to the initiation cone. Ty on a bit of a wide line. Into outer zone number 1. Musburger on a really good lead. Going through that last outer zone. Cragen going to pull up right next to it. Good lap by both drivers. We'll bring it back around to the starting line. And moving on to the next round is James Cragen. That will bring us to the one more time between Kyle Puckett and Nathan Karlstrom. Also, we'd like to thank KBD Body Kits for sponsoring DTB number 1. Irving Ramirez out of California and Texas, making his unbreakable body kits. Kyle Puckett with the initiation. Outer zone number 1. Both cars clean through outer zone number 2. And Carlson not giving the in. He really wants that proximity. Great lap by both drivers. Outstanding lap by both drivers. We'll bring him around. Nathan Carlstrom will get his chance to lead. We'll see if one of these drivers makes that bobble that's going to decide the battle. Nathan Carlstrom with the lead, going to bring us up to the initiation cone. That is acceptable for a chase driver to take down the football. Carlstrom able to open up again and Puckett cutting line again to keep that proximity. That might be the difference right there. Great run by both drivers. We'll get them around the starting line. Whenever that gap develops like it did there, our drivers are instructed to cut the line in order to gain proximity back, and you'll see they might not get a zone like they're supposed to try to get back up next to the car that they're chasing. And Puckett definitely had to do that a couple times there. We'll see how badly that counts against him. And moving on to the next round is Kyle Puckett. That will bring up our next battle, Andrew Ness out of West Fargo in the green 350Z. Going to line up against Dima Strinik in the white 350Z out of Wyoming, Minnesota. Andrew Ness with the first lead. Bring us up to that initiation cone. Good line by both drivers. Peter Strinik doing a really good job of catching up to Andrew Ness. Andrew on a really good lead line. Dima having to take the inside line there. Maybe a little bit of a straighten out the keyhole. Definitely one entering outer zone number 3. And through the finish line. Few mistakes there by Strinik. He will get his chance to lead in the second half of this battle. Dima Strinik with the lead. Bring us up to that first rear clip. A lot of angle by Andrew Ness. And Dima's going to open up a pretty sizable gap so far. Now, if Dima can just run a nice line, he is way too far out of outer zone number 1. Try to get Andrew to make a mistake trying to catch up. Through the finish line, good gap opened up by Skrinick, but he just didn't have a really clean lead line there. He really needs to fill the zones. We got 3 outer zones that you need to get into to get those points. And I think we got about 4 or 5 clips, the tall cones you can see. And we don't have the best vantage point from here. The judges have a really good look at exactly where the cars are positioned on each of those clips in each of the zones. And that's really where the points are made. And moving on to the next round is Andrew Ness. That'll bring up our next battle between Breck Heinz out of Fargo, North Dakota in the yellow 240SX up against Wesley Mills out of Inwood, Iowa in that Mazda Miata. Wesley has been having a really good day with the permanently convertible Miata in the rain today. He's driving around a big bowl, keeps filling full of water. All right, judges are ready, cars are ready. Breck Heinz going to lead the first half of this battle. Both cars clean for initiation and into the straight in there, and this is all part of rain driving, is you've got to be able to chase a slower car and stay in drift. And Miatas are definitely known for their grip. They are a difficult car to drift, let alone slow down to follow a slower car. Yeah, and a spin out of Mills. He wasn't having the best lap to begin with, and that is just icing on the cake. Breck Heinz through the finish line. They will go back around to the starting line. Wesley will get his chance to lead. That is going to be a tough deficit to overcome. Breck is one of our best rain drivers that we have.
I'm going to go too. Alvin, give me a Sprite. Give him a Sprite. Okay.
I think they're just looking at the front bumper on Mills' car, make sure that it is going to stay attached during the battle. All right, cars are ready to go. Wesley Mills going to get his chance to lead. And I can only assume he is going to try to make it as tough as he can for Breck Heinz to try to open up the gap, do anything he can to make mistakes. Just a bit too far out of outer zone number 1. A lot of angle in that foot and constantly straighten. And through the finish line, we will get them back around to the starting line. We will get our judge's decision. I'm fairly sure that's going to go in Breck Heinz's favor. And moving on to the next round, we've got Breck Heinz. Our next battle is between Keegan Nell out of Watertown, South Dakota, in that blue Lexus. Gonna line up against Matt Parkhill out of Rice, Minnesota, in the 350Z. Keegan Nell going to have the first lead. We'll see how much Parkman struggles if he does following the slower car. He's got to stay in grip. Through outer zone number 2. He is having a tough time following that slower car. Through the finish line, both of them. Parky definitely having a struggle following that slower car. He will get his chance to lead. Yeah, he knows he's having issues back there. He will get his chance to try to run away in the second half of the battle. Try to get Keegan to make a mistake. All right, Matt Parkhill gets his chance to lead. This is where Matt will try to get Keegan to make a mistake by chasing too quickly. You know, something to remember though, like in the first half of that battle where we've got Matt Parkhill not having a good time, straightening a little behind Keegan. Keegan doesn't know that going into his chase. He doesn't know how Matt did behind him. So you gotta still do everything you think you need to win that battle. We'll see what our judges say. And moving on to the next round is Keegan Nell. Bring up our next battle of Brandon Lanham out of Shakopee, Minnesota. In the black and teal and white 350Z, going to line up against Tucker Tenhoff out of Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, in the Mazda Miata. Also a reminder, in just a little bit less than a month, we've got DTP number 2 presented by UMotors. That's June 2nd through the 4th. That'll be our second round of our DTP Open Series. Brandon Lanham with the initiation and a bit of a straighten and a reinitiation, and he was going real wide. Lanham is way offline, going out of number 1. Tucker Tenhoff doing everything he can to try to keep up on a correct line. And that's going to be a straighten on Lanham. And Lanham is going to spin, exiting out of the Both cars will get through the finish line. We'll bring them back around to the starting line. Tucker 10 will give his chance to lead. This battle is the first battle of the second half of our top 32. Tucker Tenhoff going to bring us up to the initiation cones. You know, there are just some cars that are kind of hard to announce. Brandon's is one of them. Hard to talk over. Tucker Tenhoff with a very good lead lap. And Tucker Tenhoff will cross the finish line. We will get both cars around to the starting line, get our judge's decision. I'm fairly sure this is going to go in Tenhoff's direction. Moving on to the next round is Tucker Tenhoff. Up next is the battle of the Corvettes. We've got John Segla out of Fargo in the pink, purple, white Corvette up against Ethan Reed out of Fargo in the multicolored black, teal, pink Swenson Realty Berkshire Hathaway Corvette. John Segla with the first lead. Both cars on a good lap so far. Run by Segla. He's doing everything he can to keep that proximity. Through outer zone number 3 and through our finish line. Good lap by both drivers. Reed is a past season champion of our DTP series. I believe he was the 2021 champ. Reed will get his chance to lead Segla in the second half of this battle. Both cars are ready. Ethan Reed going to bring us up to initiation. And Reed is going to do his best to open up that gap. Last out outer zone. Reed with a sizable gap over Segla to the finish line. We'll bring that back around to the starting line. We will get our judge's decision. Moving on to the next round is Ethan Reed. That will bring up the other Corvette in our competition. We've got Tanner Paraboom out of Mitchell, South Dakota in that black C6 Corvette, going up against Jesse Joe Curtis out of Regina, Saskatchewan in that 2013 BRZ. Curtis, I believe, got his Pro Spec license last year in the Spec D Pro-Am Series in Canada. Tanner Paraboom going to lead first, going to bring us up to those initiation cones. Big handbrake pull by Paraboom. That is a decel zone. They are allowed to do that. Curtis definitely having to adjust. Might have, don't know if he completely got in there. Oh, and a spin by Curtis. And a spin by Paraboom, but that looked like it was after the finish line. The judges are going to have the best view on that. We'll bring back around to the starting line. Curtis will have his chance to lead. Jessica Curtis going to bring us up to the initiation cones. Possible straighten by Paraboom entering out of zone number 2. A dirt drop by Paraboom going into outer zone number 3. So a few hiccups there by Paraboom in his chase, but I don't know if they're going to outweigh the spin that Curtis had in his. We'll see what our judges have to say about that. Kind of a lot going on in that battle. And moving on to the next round is Tanner Paraboom. Our next battle, we've got Jake Predenchuk out of Regina, Saskatchewan in that black 350Z, going to line up against Alex Skrinick out of Ramsey, Minnesota in the red 350Z. Alex Skrinick is a regular at the DTB competitions. typically making it to the top 8 and past that. Jake Berkshire gonna bring us into the sweeper. Not letting Jake out of his sight. Inside line. Good lap by both drivers. We'll bring it back around. Alex Skrinick will get his chance to lead. Alex Skrinick going to bring us up to the initiation cones. Jake Berkshire right on his quarter turn. Looks to be a pretty good line. Good battle out of both cars. Solid leads, solid chases. See who's going to go on to top 16. And moving on to the next round is Alex Skrinick. We're going to bring up our next battle of Adrian Wanchik out of Bismarck, North Dakota in the red RX-7. Going to line up with Alex Adanovich out of West Fargo in the black 350Z. Wanchik going to bring us up to the initiation cone. And he's going to bring it all the way around and spin. That will zero out that lead run. And Janonovich will bring it around through the finish line. We're going to get Adrian pulled out of the water here. We'll get on to the second half of this battle. We'd like to thank our 2023 Drift sponsors this year: SRD Auto Repair and Towing, FM Pool and Spa, Achieve Recovery Homes, Photos by TRJ, UMotors, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties, Swenson Real Estate, Al's Drift Shop, Fargo Drifting, Evolution Fitness, Drift HQ, KBD Body Kits, Grip Royal, Finish Factory, Window Tint Pros, and Beast Custom Works. Thank you for supporting Interstate Raceway and ND Drift in 2023. And we would like to give a shout out to Drift HQ, KBD Body Kits, and Grip Royal. They will be providing gift cards and prizes for our 5K series, or for our 5K grassroots shootout and our season points for all of our podium drivers. It's great seeing some national companies like that are into drifting and do nothing but drifting, helping out our track here in Minnesota, helping out drifting in the Midwest. It's been really fun working with all these companies. All right, we should be good to go. We'll get to the second half of this battle. Alex Adanovich with the lead. With a bit of a straighten. It's going to be hard to overcome the spin anyway in the lead lap. Group 3 drivers, you can head up to staging. Group 3 drivers, you can head up to staging. Moving on to the next round is Alex Adanovich. In our next battle, we've got Chris Paulson out of Devils Lake, North Dakota in the blue 350Z. Going to line up against Shane Durkheising out of St. Cloud, Minnesota in that RX-7. Chris Paulson with the lead. And Shane gonna spin right on initiation. Situation here where Shane is in the way when Chris Paulson comes back around. And looks like he will make it into the keyhole, but just don't like to leave around. Good line by Chris Paulson. Here's the finish line. And we'll bring him back around to the starting line. Shane will get his chance to lead. He knows he's behind going into the second half of this battle. Shane Durkheisen going to initiate. Durkheisen on a solid lead run. Durkheisen going to get through the finish line. Good lead run, not sure if it's enough. That spin in the first half of the battle is going to zero him.
What was that?
Group 2 and 3 and losing number 1 drivers can head up to grid. Groups 2, 3 and losing number 1 drivers. If you're still in competition, you will have the hour off. And moving on to that next round is Chris Paulson. Next up on the line, we've got Bradley Hicks out of Tracy, Minnesota in the blue 350Z. Going to line up against Sergey Zalovsky out of Ramsey, Minnesota in the Lexus IS 300. We are into our final 2 battles. 2 battles left in our top 32. Bradley Hicks going to bring us up to the initiation cone and spin. And Serge Zalewski is going to spin as well. Now they both should be done. They'll probably both go back to the starting line. In that type of a situation, typically, Bradley's was the first infraction, so his is the worst out of those. He zeroed before Serge did. So we will go right into the second half of this battle. Sergey Zalewski with the lead. He should be ahead on points right now. Good initiation by Zalewski. Possibly a straighten by Hicks. If Zalewski can run a clean line, oh, and yep, Hicks going to drop 2 or 3 tires into the dirt. And Hicks going to spin. That will absolutely do it. We'll bring it back around to the starting line. We'll get the official word. From everything I saw, Zalowski should be moving on. And yep, the word is in. Sergei Zalowski is moving on to top 16. That will bring up our final battle of our top 32. We've got Scotty Gardner out of Fargo in that S14, dark maroon, up against the Corvette. I know I said the last one was a Corvette. I forgot Ben Reiswig was in the competition. Ben Reiswig out of Fargo in that red Corvette. Gardner will have the first lead. Fast initiation by Gardner. Reiswig good line by Gardner. But not bad. Good run by both drivers. Very good run. Very fast run by both drivers. You'd like to see a little bit more proximity from Reiswig, but at that speed and in the wet, that was really solid. Reiswig will get his chance to lead. Once again, we're looking for Group 2, Group 3, and any of the losing number 1 drivers. You can head up to grid. Right after this battle, we will get you on track. Ben Reiswig with the initiation. Spin by Gardner. If Reiswig can keep a clean run, that will most likely do it. And Reiswig will coast through that finish line. We'll get them around to the starting line. We will get our official word. And our last driver moving on to top 16 is Ben Reiswig. That will do it for our competition hour. Disregard the 2 cars that are getting on track right now. Our Group 2, Group 3 will be getting back on track.
Right along with Alex, we'll ask him to find some house.
He already went back.
Alex went back?
So Group 2, Group 3, you will be on track. We will get to our top 16 in an hour. We will see Darian Weber against Wesley Nagel, Kyle Puckett against Ole Rushin, James Cragen and Andrew Ness. Breck Heinz will face off against Keegan Nell, Tucker Tenhoff and Ethan Reed, Tanner Paravoom and Alex Skrinick, Alex Hadanovich and Chris Paulson, Sergei Zalewski and Ben Reiswig will be our top 16 battles. And we will try to run through our entire tournament in the next hour there. We will try to finish that up in 1 hour's time. For right now, groups 2 and 3 will be out on course for their hour.
2 and 3, right? You're 2, right?
We don't. We can take electronically. We can do like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Oh, we can do that. We just, we don't have a credit card. Interstate Raceway does.
Alright, so the live stream, we're gonna turn off the line stream. We're gonna come back in an hour, so 4 o'clock.
Okay, then you
It's
can
4 o'clock right now. Maybe 5 o'clock we start.
Yeah, it's
Competition. Be back soon.